Good afternoon, Summoners, and welcome back to 2018 LVL Spring Term Week number 2, game number 4. My name is G10. Coming at you, and with me is Chisto. We'll be your shotcasters for today.
Yeah, and headed into this match, it is a match between TUP Monstrum Vel Prodigium versus UPD Oblation Esports. Now, earlier we saw TUP in action and looked very, very good, taking down FIT, and a lot of it should be credit to Bam and Navi, the primary carries on that. They're really showing up for that game now. Is a very big challenge for Oblation Esports.
Yeah, that's right. Oblation Esports, they went 1-1 last week, same as TUP, but in the last term, they did see themselves tied for the last place. And arguably, they have improved some. But, TUP, they're just really strong right now. They took down the undefeated FEUIT, and it is going to be a really big hurdle for UPD.
Yeah, I think TUP have been playing really solid throughout the LVL. Despite dropping to UST, they were still able to go toe-to-toe with them despite losing key players. I still think TUP definitely one of the top teams here. As for UPD, they still have a lot to prove here, and generally, the only direction they can go is up.
Yeah, exactly. The only direction they can go is UP.
Dude, that was so bad.
No, dude.
No, that was. You're banned from doing those stuff. Yeah, but
I'm from UP. I can do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, fun fact for you guys, for you watching, G10 here is actually from UP Diliman, so he'll be biased towards UPD for this.
No. I'm going to be, as unbiased as I can, wearing the maroon tie.
Okay. Good job. But yeah, headed into this match, I think some key players to watch out for. I mean, we mentioned from TUP, Bam and Navi, so far consistently performing, dishing out tons of damage on carry picks. As for UP Diliman, I think the player that we have to look out for is Nona in the top lane. I think last term he was one of their key performers. He had a lot of highlight plays, but I think UPD, the rest of them need to step up as well if UPD want to have a fighting chance against TUP.
That's right, and I do think that they do have a better chance now, especially since, as you said, Nona is in the top lane, that he's who to watch out for in UPD, and TUP, they don't really have that strong of a top laner right now, arguably because we saw in the last game TUP played, as Yorick,
he did a lot of work though.
He did do a lot of work, but he didn't really do a lot. He didn't have a lot of interaction around the map.
I mean, you're playing Yorick, you really don't need to interact with enemy champions. That's if true. You want to be effective. Generally, as long as hinihit mo yung mga tower, as long as you're able to push lanes, you'll still be a very big boon to your team. So that's still a good sign for TUP.
That's true, but on UP's side, I do hope that Nona, kind of steps up the aggression, takes advantage of the fact that, Decim doesn't really want to clash with his fellow top laner.
Yeah, and especially on a team such as UPD, which is very macro-oriented, I think as a team, they tend to veer away from the skirmishes early, tend to play a bit slower during the early game. They just want to move around the map with their rotations, use their knowledge of the game to just try and out-rotate their opponents. But that's very difficult to do considering na yung kalaban nila ay TUP, a very skirmish-heavy team, a very get-in-your-face team. We just want to fight you early, and from that, we're going to generate leads, pick up kills, and then turn them into objectives.
That's right. I see what you did there, veer away.
Veer isn't playing though.
I know, Veer is not in UPD anymore. He's not starting. But here, we are going to go into Champ Select right now.
Yeah, it's TUP on the blue side versus UPD Oblation Esports on the red side, meaning TUP has the luxury of first pick. And with most teams that have the luxury of first pick, you don't want to give them the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's practically been permabanned here on the red side. Very strong AD carry. Nobody's getting that. And Zoe being banned away. And actually talked about the Zoe pick of Bam with the commissioner, with Brian, and he was saying isang strategy na pwedeng gawin ng UP Diliman against TUP is actually just ban the Zoe and hope for the best. But looking at what has been picked up here so far, Thresh being picked up here for Miko on support. Another playmaking champion for a player that really wants to be the playmaker for TUP. As for UPD, they have selected the Swain. Flex pick could be mid, could be top, and the Morgana.
Yeah, and a Rise coming in here. But I want to talk about the Zoe ban, as you said. We saw Bam doing really well, carrying the entire TUP team on his back in game number 2, I think, with the Zoe.
Yeah, he really played well on that champion. Though for this game, he will be playing the Rise into... Honestly, from UPD's side, you could think that the Morgana can still go mid. So it's still sort of a mind game here. What is sure, though, from Oblation Esports is that Zac is definitely going towards the jungle as we see the second phase of bans come out. The Caitlyn will be denied and the Jace as well. So AD carry really being pinched here. I wonder what options Navi still has. Jhin is an okay pick. There's a lot of setup for the Jhin to follow up on. I mean, the point-and-click CC on the rise, very, very effective. Chain it into the Deadly Flourish of the Jhin. You have a CC chain here. You can look for picks. As for UPD, they need a top laner here to match the Camille. Will be the Cho'Gath. So that will signal the Swain going towards the mid lane. Yeah, a lot of CC and a lot of tank line here for UPD Ablation Esports, signaling that they really want to move on and transition into 5v5 team fights. They want to put the tanks in the front, carries in the back, and try to just shred through TUP. As for TUP, they want to look for picks. You can use your long range CC, try to pick off members from UPD that are out of position as they rotate around the map.
Yeah, I think the pressure here is going to be on Yo-chan really, on UPD's side, to not die in those 5v5s. Because if you're looking at UPD's team, basically their entire, kind of source of damage is going to be Yo-chan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Swain does deal some of the damage as well, but majority of what Swain provides for a team fight is having that large ultimate as a zone control mechanism to really push away the members of TUP that want to dive towards the backline. So if TUP wants to get to the carries of UPD, sobrang dami nilang kailangan daanan dito.
Yeah, there is the Cho'Gath, they got the Swain, they got the Zac, they even got Morgana with the Black Shield. It's going to be really tough for TUP to get onto Yo-chan, but I mean, they do have a lot of ways to get onto Yo-chan.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see as we load onto the Rift. But looking at the locked-in picks here, very different styles here, but very much a fit for both of these teams. UPD, they want to play that macro game, move on to the 5v5 team fights. As for TUP, they want to skirmish, they want to get in your face, start these fights early, and then end them with their just massive pick potential.
Yeah, and I wonder how safe UPD is going to be playing here, considering that they kind of know that TUP is going to be going for these early kills, early skirmishes. And they can still get caught out, but it really depends on how safe how many sacrifices they're willing to make in the name of safety.
Yeah, I mean, they do have options to try and deny these picks from happening. You do have the Morgana for a bit more extra safety, but looking at TUP, that's a lot of CC that they have to watch out for. So rotating around them, like we mentioned, UPD, a very macro-oriented team, so they want to be moving around the river, around the jungle. If one of their members gets picked off by the CC that TUP can toss at them, it will be very dangerous for UPD Ablation Esports.
Yeah, TUP though, they have been doing really well so far. They took down FUIT, who was 3-0 before coming into this week. And they showed what they can do, and it was really beautiful how they coordinated themselves towards the mid game. And I think they're going to have, I wouldn't want to say easy time, but with UP's kind of late game scaling composition, they're going to want to look for those early to mid game fights.
Yeah, they have their work cut out for them, definitely. Very clear win conditions for both of these teams. I think once we move on to the game, it's really a matter of who can move towards those win conditions faster, because those are two very different win conditions and very different ways to attain them. And I think for each team, it's just how you avoid giving your enemy the chance to work towards their own win condition.
Yeah, that's right. And as we say here, execution is everything.
Yeah, though I wonder, I think we're just gonna have a bit of a delay before we head into the game. I think it's a technical difficulty, guys, pero just stick around. We will be heading into that shortly. Kung may balita man sila sa amin kung ano nga yung delay in the game. But yeah, looking at both these teams, gaya na sinabi ko earlier, TUP have been performing really, really well despite having a roster change. I think they've worked through that, and we can almost ignore that they've changed rosters because they still are playing a classic TUP style.
Yeah, and we saw that style being executed perfectly, flawlessly even, in the game versus FEU earlier. And UPD, while as we mentioned before, they're not really kind of the best, not even in the middle of the pack. Last term, they were tied for 7th with 2 other teams. They have been showing, that they're coming back stronger. They are 1-1 so far. And, they want to get this 2-1 today in this match to kind of prove that UPD still got what it takes.
Yeah, honestly, I think UPD, especially once they came into the LVL, have had a lot to prove, knowing that the pedigree of the UPD Oblation Esports in collegiate is very, very good. They are past champions as well, but they haven't had the same amount of success in the LVL. So definitely a lot to prove here for Oblation Esports.
Yeah, I think that owes to the fact that UPD's roster, when they became LCL champions, is completely different from the roster we have today. Everybody, the entire roster, the entire 5 players are all different, and I think Veer is a coach now instead of starting as jungler.
I do believe he is a sub for UPD Oblation Esports, so not gonna take the starting role. Have a bit more of a sideline perspective here. Gonna try and bring in the new generation of UP players.
Yeah, we've lost UPD. Come on, we've lost the great UPD players. Neep, Berserk, Iconic.
Okay.
There's something you want to say?
No, keep going. I mean, it's not.
I'm just gonna name everybody.
I mean, without Atlas here, there's nobody from UPD to talk about UPD. But I guess you can shed some light on that.
Yeah, they basically lost everybody because they're either graduating or moving on from Oblation Esports. I think, Neep and Iconic actually played for Naga Esports for a bit in the last PGS split, and there's really nobody except for Veer to kind of guide this new blood along to the past greatness that UPD had. Okay,
that's fair, but yeah. We apologize once again, guys. A bit of technical difficulties before we load onto the game. We just want the players to be 100% once they go onto the rift so that they give us the best possible results from both sides, really. Because, how do you properly term this? The players, they want to be playing at 100%, especially in competitive.
Obviously, because any disadvantage that you have in a competitive environment is still a disadvantage. It can still give your opponent the edge they need to actually win. So even like a small ping difference of say 20-30 ping, it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, that could really make a change, man. Yeah. I mean, playing it. Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna head straight into the action here. It is TUP Monstrum Vel Prodigium on the blue side against UPD Oblation Esports on the red side. There seems to be a bit of an invade here. Oh no!
Oh no! Syzygy has to flash out instantly. Oh! That is a Dark Shield for the ages. Just denying that hook.
Oh, that was very, very close. Syzygy did not spot them out soon enough because he wasn't that deep into the brush. That's why TUP were able to sneak up so deeply. But man, this Morgana forced to burn flash and start with the Black Shield, just deny first blood from happening because that hook was on point by Miko.
That was an amazing hook. He predicted the flash, predicted the direction Morgana was going to go, actually hit it, except, the Black Shield from Syzygy is going to save his life. But I do give props to the reaction time of Syzygy there.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to put that ability and then immediately cast it on yourself. The APM is real, but looks like red buff will be the start here for Zet on the Trundle. Gonna end up towards the top side of the map as he usually does.
Yeah, that's right. Device also starting in the bot side will also be ending up at the top side roughly around the same time, probably, if he doesn't do a weird clear. And I think, Naga just getting a little bit of damage here onto Bam.
Yeah, Bam needs to be a bit more careful here and not catch those never moves from Swain, because that is one of Swain's main bullying abilities. If he's constantly... Hold on.
Miko getting hooked there. The Dark Binding is... Wait, hang on. No, the Black Shield, I got it right the first time, is going to deny a little bit. Oh, you're actually going on to Ryo-chan. So much damage. That Jin 4th shot crit.
Yeah, Navi and Miko are trading really, really well down here in the bot lane. That Black Shield, even though it was still cast, it really didn't matter since the hook was still able to connect. Yeah. And Navi with his Deadly Flourish, really on point, forces the UPD bot lane back. And looking at Zet on this Trundle, he knows he can do this because there's no way that the Zac can 1v1 the Trundle this early into the game. That's why he's able to bully his lane opponent, his jungle matchup away. Even forces Nona to roam.
But there is Device going on to Zet. Might have to flash out here, or unless Naga doesn't have his never move. He does have it. Will read the Trundle. but I think UPD is just gonna back off from this one.
Oh no, he's fine. And Device actually calls in Nona just to help relieve the pressure in his own jungle. So, see, the invade by the Trundle already affects the other lanes. That means Dekim gets a lot of free time in his lane and denies a bit of XP on the Cho'Gath. So, the top half of the map really working wonders here for Monster Bell Prodigium.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the bot side, TUP is just shoving UP Diliman in even more. And we were talking earlier. Oh, the hook actually still landing onto Yochan. Black Shield will save his life from the Deadly Flourish. But that's so much damage. Navi is just... He purchased boots for a reason here. To get those 4 shots in, to have a guaranteed chase.
Yeah, and speaking of things that are guaranteed, I think Miko at this point, when he casts Death Sentence, it's pretty much guaranteed that it's going to land. I mean, even though you have the protection from Morgana's Black Shield, Yochan still has to respect the fact that there's a lot of damage that can come out from both Navi and Miko if he does get hooked.
Yeah, it's basically a point and flip ability at this point. It's a... I don't think I would see him miss so fast, so far. Yeah. And while I did praise Syzygy's reaction time at the first...
Hold on.
Oh, hang on. Here is Zach. Device will miss out on the Camille. Destin just going to walk out of there really, really safe. But as I was saying, while I did praise Syzygy's reaction time in those first couple of minutes, he hasn't been getting these Black Shields on time to save Yochan from getting hooked.
Maybe it's different. His reactions are better if the Black Shield is cast on himself.
You just have to click Alt W, right?
Yeah, unlike when you cast it on one of your allies. Could be a bit slower.
Yeah. But still, UPD is getting mercilessly bullied here.
Yeah, all of the lanes are actually being pushed in for TUP here. And you know what that does? The fact that top, mid, and bot, lahat nagpo-push in favor of TUP.
Yeah.
It allows the Trundle to constantly invade the Zac. He allows him to constantly bully the Vice on this champion because he knows that the Zac can't 1v1 him. Now Nona, this is a pretty bad trade.
Yeah, Nona is not going to come out of this ahead unless the Sim lets him, and the Sim is just using the kit of the Camille to really deal with his early game Cho'Gath. Nona doesn't really have his tank stats, he doesn't have his fight, can't really duel this Camille, but he's still trying to do it. Nona with very low flash, Camille first blood.
Well played there by Dekim. Full knowledge of how much damage he can do. Bot lane though is under fire. There is Black Shield.
Yes, Yochan. Oh, actually the skill will go to Syzygy. Nico going a little bit too ham there.
Yeah, Miko dies bot lane for a weird and apparent reason. I think this is a trend that I've seen from TUP, just Miko dying in a quite weird situation. But man, going back to the top lane solo kill for first blood, Dekim had full idea of the amount of damage he could dish out on this Camille. Nona was not even given a chance to react to that. So really well played there by the top laner of TUP.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, Zed is allowed to bully this Zac, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's looking for him in the jungle. Has spotted him.
Already found him.
Yeah.
This is battle warding here by the Trundle. Essentially just constantly trying to track the enemy jungler by acting as a moving ward. Now, the Vice has no answer to this. Since all of his lanes are being pushed in, kapag trinay siyang tulungan ng mga kampi niya galing sa lane sila, they will get denied XP. Though,
Speaking
this might change now.
There is the flash from Zed. He is still taking a lot of damage. Swain is going to pop the ult, but the rest of the team of TUP is here. Device playing very low, has the flash out. There's Camille, will get the root off, and there is the ultimate from Camille. The Zac has been popped. Yochan gonna go down. There is, oh my god, Naga should be next. There it is, 3 kills for TUP so far.
Yeah, the death sentence spells true for Miko. The moment he lands that abilities, it is lights out for TUP. Just on point with these hooks, and this is the TUP style. They want to start fights really early. They want to skirmish against you in your jungle. Zed constantly invading the Zac and UPD. They just don't have an answer for this.
Yeah, not yet. They want to scale up to that late game, but TUP won't let them get to that point, especially since they're already taking an Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, ang hirap nito kung kayo yung Oblation Esports. Halos wala silang sagot sa ginagawa ng TUP, and Nona, he's already being bullied out here.
Yeah. Trying to proxy a little bit.
No, he has to get out. I don't think he'd be interested to stay in a 1v1 against Dekim's Camille, since Camille is just super far ahead at this point.
Yeah, wouldn't be the best idea, especially since his feast is still down. Man, UPD is just, that was a pretty bad fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't say... Well, to be fair, TUP did force that onto them. UPD tried to go for a pick but didn't realize that the members of TUP could instantly collapse. The TP came out from the Camille, the Realm Mark from Bam. The instant collapse from TUP's members just meant that they were able to crush that fight against UPD.
Yeah, and Naga was actually already being followed by Bam from the mid lane. They came to UPD's jungle together hand in hand.
Let's see though, how can UPD try to manage this deficit that they're currently in? TUP have been playing quite well to gain these leads with their proper responses and constant invading onto the Zac.
Yes, but speaking of that, looks like Desim wants something here in the top lane. Nona will get the knock up, and he's actually winning this this duel. He has feast up, so if Desim wants to go ahead,
Zed is here though.
Zed is there. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but here is Zac going to go on to Rise. Bam is airborne, has been taken down to the tower. It doesn't look like Bam's going to be getting out of this one. The kill should go to Naga, and there it is.
Yeah, in the end, no summoners there onto the Rise, not able to escape, but look at bot lane. TUP's bot lane is actually crushing their matchup. Look at the CS difference between Navi and Yocha. The Jhin is already up around 30 CS compared to the Zaya. That is a massive lead.
That's gotta hurt. That's comparable to 2 kills.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Navi has BF sword, whereas Yochan is sitting on 2 long swords.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. UPD cannot fight this for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, Yacha wants to build towards the Essence Reaver, but at the moment, he has the worst components of that items. There's just no way that that UPD can actually combat the members of TUP's bot lane. They're just far too ahead at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're just going to want to sit back and farm and get to that stage, that late game, where they can actually do things against TUP.
Yeah, I did mention that. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Nico going for it, will play, but the Black Shield will go on it. Syzygy has been hooked, but that was just a little bit of a skirmish there, going to force out the ultimate of Yochan.
Oh,
ooh!
actually,
we actually missed that.
Yeah, I wonder how that went down. We did see earlier that Dekim was losing out on some trades against Nona. The hold on bot lane.
Nice, looking for the gang. Elastic slingshots in, gets onto the Jhin Thresh, drops the box, but UPD is too far away to actually help Device. He will be going down to Navi. And there's a curtain call. It's curtains for Syzygy. 1, 2, misses the 3rd and the 4th.
I don't think Device wanted to go in there. There's a bit of miscommunication apparent there between the members of UPD. The moment that the Zac jumped in, UPD's bot lane actually were backing away, so there was no follow-up despite the CC landing from the Zac. So
exactly.
And the response as well from TUP, able to turn that around. Quite unlucky there for UPD's bot lane.
Yeah, and now Trundle gets to free farm in the jungle of Device. And I think they're going to force away UPD from their bot tower.
Oh, there's no more Black Shield.
Deadly Flourish will not stun the Morgana. The teleport though coming from Nona to defend this first tower. Nico actually getting the hook onto Nona. That was a sick one. Righteous Glory in. He's going to knock up Nico. Will he be able to get the kill? He does have Feast up, but he's getting kited. Device once again trying to go for the Elastic Slingshot is denied by the Trundle Pillar of Bill. He has gotten his clutches. Oh, will get hooked by Miko once again. Miko really on point with these hooks. Nona not really taking a lot of damage from Navi. Looking for the 4th shot. Ooh, 221 knocks up. No, Navi, it's just a little bit of a protracted fight here. Syzygy wants to go back, but is spotted out. Can't really go back right now. Even though there are 4 members of UPD in the bot lane versus 3 members, UPD is still losing this trade.
Yeah, that's a nice disengage by TUP, regardless of the teleport coming in from Nona. UPD, they burn a teleport, they burn some abilities, but really they get nothing from that. TUP were able to give Dekim in the top lane some free time to hit that tower, which was a bit low already from the chip damage earlier in lane. So first tower over to this Camille, that's a bunch of gold
Ooh, Device will not be getting this blue buff. Is just getting bullied by Zed. He's a little
no.
bit salty. Yochan is here for... Oh, the Let's Bounce not going to connect onto Zed. Yochan has to flash out of this one, but the Rise flashes for him. Bam will get that kill. Naga and company can't really do anything against that.
Oh, Realm Warp, they want more.
And they're trying to get some more. Camille going in, the ultimate onto Naga, but there is Device. He will be made into blobs right now. Zed, will he die here? Ooh, he does get the kill onto Naga before dying. Device will be saved by his passive, but that was ultimately pretty bad for UPD.
Yeah, in the end, it's actually Device that survives from all of that aggression coming out from TUP, and this is classic TUP. Since they have advantages in the mid lane and in the bot lane, they constantly invade the blue side of Device. They're really bullying the Zac out of his own jungle.
Yeah.
Man, they're really abusing the fact that they are ahead, constantly looking for these fights.
Device, he can't even really farm here. It just seems like Zed is always on his case, always on the trail. He's just harassing this Zac, and this is really bad for UPD because if your Zac can't do anything in his own jungle, he can't do anything in other lanes.
Yeah, it's very difficult for UPD to actually set anything up now, and the bot lane tower will go down very, very shortly. The moment that Na'Vi gets to hit that a few more times,
Man.
it's going to be very difficult for UPD to defend this. One thing they can do though is they can try to make a play, try and look for a pick somewhere, but it's very difficult.
It is very difficult, especially since Device can't really help that much in making that pick. He's tried to, and the only thing that that succeeded in doing is getting him behind and having Zed invade him.
Yeah, this is a very difficult spot for UPD to be in, and I think it stems all the way from Champ Select really, because when they saw the Zac come out, TUP, they sort of noticed that they need to have winning matchups, and they were able to pick up a lot of pushing lanes in their favor and just really enable the Trundle to constantly invade throughout this game. Now they're gonna try and look for more. Device, if he goes for this, I don't think he spotted the Trundle, but
Yeah.
if a counter gank does happen here, it might be disastrous for UPD.
Yeah, UPD really doesn't want to fight. They just want to clear waves. They want to farm up. They want to get to that late game. But as I said, TUP might not let them get there.
We don't see the Zac.
And speaking of Zac, here he is. Elastic Slingshot in. Will get his Q onto the key targets. He lets bounce onto Miko. Miko goes down. Zed, though, is there for the counter gank. Syzygy taken very, very low. Curtain call. Will he hit it? One doesn't go down. 2, 0 shots so far. 4 shot. 4 misses for Na'Vi. Tragic.
Yeah, it's quite unlucky, but he was just trying to force them away. Look at the other lanes, mid lane, top lane, still under fire on the side of UPD. The solo laners are really doing so much work here, constantly pressuring the solo laners of UPD Lemon, just constantly shoved in. All of the action has been bot lane, but you can't ignore the fact that TUP solo laners have been doing so much work in this game, pushing in the members of UPD.
Yeah, and Zed basically has a free jungle here. He can do whatever he wants. He's taking the dragon when he wants to, and Device really can't say no to it. He has no wards anywhere.
Yeah, it's very difficult for a Zac to try and push away. The moment that the Zac loses his jungle, it's very difficult for him because the enemy team would have vision set up. Your ganks get predictable. It's gonna be incredibly hard. Oh,
Flash in from Syzygy, and the ultimate will force out the Burning Slash, but here is Zed and Na'Vi to combat Syzygy. The bite, will he go down? Syzygy will go down. Na'Vi will live. There is a teleport. Nona is here. Miko has been slain. Another teleport coming in from TUP. Naga and Device just trying to run away from Zed and Confirm. They're terrified of this TUP comp.
Yeah, now 4 members pushing strong. Na'Vi is fairly low. Oh, wait up.
Oh, here we go. Naga is going to be taken down there by Bam. Device trying to stay under the tower here, but he will actually get away for a bit, but Na'Vi coming in for the last hit. The 4-shot crit. Oh, Desim though, going deep onto the Talia Yochan, but he will get taken down by the Cho'Gath. Bam here going to be taking a little bit of tower damage, but you know, this was a really bad fight for UPD. Syzygy with the flash and started that. It's not over yet. Darkmine, this was a really, really long fight.
Yeah, it's quite an extended fight, but in the end, I think it's still TUP coming out on top with that trade. So many kills happening. I think in the back, the Camille was able to assassinate the Zaya. So great work there by Dekim, and this bottom half of the map just is all in TUP's favor. There's nothing UPD can do to control this.
Yeah, and arguably, it looks like the entire map is actually in TUP's favor. Look at all the vision they have set down in UPD's jungle and in the river. UPD, you can't even see where the wards are because there aren't any.
Yeah, UPD, if they want to find a way back into this game, they're gonna have to try and look for a fight, look for an engage that's in their favor, try to catch out a member of TUP, try to possibly pull him back, look for a pick with the Morgana, with the Zac, with the Swain. Try and look for something, but so far TUP aren't giving them any windows to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for UPD because it just seems like TUP is so coordinated that they never give UPD the chance to actually catch anybody out. Nobody is really solo except for Desim in the top lane. And he hasn't really been a target for Device's ganks, but there is a Deadly Flourish coming in. But the counter engage from Device, he will be going on to Naga. Nico, once again being the target, he is once again a sacrificial lamb for TUP. Will go down to Naga. However, Zet is going to get the Rip Herald, I think.
Yeah, and once again, Miko dies. Quite unlucky for TUP's support, giving up his life just to save his 80 carry from going down. Now, that is what I said UPD has to do. They need to try and look for picks, try to give themselves a numbers advantage so that they can set something up on this map. Now, mid lane tower might go down.
Oh, the outside shot actually going to land. Let's bounce. Bouncing Navi over there. And Yochan will get the kill. UPD, as you said, actually, Nona was able to take down Desim in the top lane. Zeto chasing him down. Ooh, the Naga will be save it. Nona actually safe.
Yeah, he's actually out of that. But look at the mid lane. UPD were able to pick off Navi, one of the key members of TUP here. Side lanes though.
Yes, look at the bot lane and the top lane. Syzygy trying to defend here against Zet. Yochan is here, but the Rip Herald will get it down. Misses the Dark Binding. Zet will be able to hang on. Here's the Zac. Device trying to kind of get Zet there. That was actually a pretty cool use of his Q. He will get Dark Bound. And the kill will go to Syzygy.
I like the game knowledge by Device, knowing that he can still use the stretching strikes with the blast cone. So that's great. He's able to pull back Zet and allow the binding to land here. So UPD getting a few picks of their own. The kill score now is even, but the turrets are still in favor of TUP. Unless UPD naman are able to translate these picks into larger objectives, you won't see that much value from them, but it's still a good sign for them. They're trying to fight back here, trying to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, UPD Fighting Maroons for the Oblation Esports, they are trying to fight their way back into this. They have taken 4 kills so far without TUP scoring one. It used to be 11-7, now it's 11-11. And they've only gotten 1 objective so far.
Yeah, I mean, UPD have been finding these picks. Now, TUP, they need to group up, try and be safe in numbers. There is safety in numbers. So that might be one way to avoid these picks from happening. I like the fact though that UPD have been, they know what they need to do to try and get back into this game. And ginagawa nila yung kailangan nila gawin.
Yeah, they're looking for these picks. They're actually grouping up 4 people near the mid lane. Looks like they want to fight here. Miko, looks like he hasn't been spotted out. Misses the hook because nobody really was there. But they're trying to go for Desim here. Trying to run away, but Nona is really fast.
Oh,
the binding
no.
will actually land and knock him also. Desim there, he is the focus, but in the bottom side here, Naga is there too. Desim will go down to Yochan, and this is a fight that UP actually wants. Miko is going to be next here, and Naga's chasing down Zet. It looks like UP wants the Baron here.
Yeah, this should be Baron over to the side of TUP. Bam did not choose to try and teleport to help his teammates. He opted to go for the push. Now, Swain did recall to try and relieve the damage that the Swain is dealing, but I definitely think that this Baron will go over to UPD unless Zet wants to do anything to answer this.
Zet wants to get the steal here, but the Baron is way too high. Yochan will get the killing spree now. And this should be the Baron. Syzygy actually tanking a lot of damage from Navi. UPD gets the Baron. But Bam is pushing into the Nexus. He's taking down Nexus towers now.
Yeah, look at Navi. He's trying to stop the backs, but he did give up his life for that. I wonder how that went down. He was trying to stop the back so that Bam had more time to hit these towers. But with the sacrifice, the Baron buff onto UPD, this will be the thing that buys them enough time. Now, this is the scary part. Kung kayo yung TUP, UPD now have the Baron.
Yes, and UPD now kind of have the upper hand in these 5v5s. We saw them, you know, picking out 5v5 people from TUP who were caught out. Even in a 3v5, they were looking for it. But it does look like TUP wants to start this dragon, but UPD are rapidly approaching.
They need to back off here. They can't risk one of their members getting picked off here because that will definitely mean a tower going over to the side of UPD. Now, Mountain Drake will assist UPD in taking down neutral objectives faster, so towers will fall down even quicker now the moment that they get to click on them. UPD have just taken complete control of this game back. Looks like TUP is a bit lost.
Yeah, TUP, they're kind of past the mid-game now, and UPD has kind of found their stride, with Nona here being 5-1 and 2.
That's why I said he was one of the players that we have to look out for. He has been the playmaker and one of the consistent performers from Oblation Esports since they got into the LVL. And even though the Camille was ahead during the earlier phase of the game, he was able to pick up a few solo kills, and I think that really turned around the top half of the map for UPD.
Yeah, even though UPD just has 1 tower and 1 dragon compared to, you know, 6 towers for the side of TUP and an inhibitor, it does look like UPD has the potential to take this game if they're able to do exactly what they've been doing so far.
Miko's trying to... Oh, okay. Trying to go for a death bush play there. Not really panning out for them. We haven't seen that much value off from this Baron buff. So far, the only thing that the Baron buff has given UPD Liman is time here to stall out the game and scale even better towards the later parts where they definitely have an advantage over TUP.
Yeah, and that's kind of what UPD has to do. And I just saw that Nona was blocked by the Trundle pillar. And I think if he wasn't, he could have really gone for that Trundle. He had Righteous Gloria and Suzuki was there to help him. But Naga here trying to 1v1 Bam.
It's not a 1v1 though.
In. Realm Warp, will he be able to get a stun? No, Bam will be able to get away safely.
Yeah, Bam was lucky that he didn't get his Realm Warp cancelled. He would have definitely had to burn a flash just to get out of that. So Baron might be timing out fairly soon here for the side of UPD. TUP are just really trying to burn through this, but you might see a pick here.
Device going in. I don't think that was a pretty good idea as he is being Let's Bounce going to take Zed over, but he is now Blobs. He's going to be taken down here by Zed, the person he was trying to get. But Nona, kind of in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, botched engage there by Device. He did not land his elastic slingshot, meaning he wasn't able to chain it into an ultimate to try and bring some members of TUP back. It costs him his life. UPD hesitant to use any teleports to try and save their jungler. Now, mid lane will be under fire.
Yeah, and that didn't just cost the Device's life, it cost their team the last inner turret that they have standing. And now, TUP is just looking for these inhibitor towers.
They're definitely looking with the batter minion. Will be cleared out finally. Baron buff has timed out. TUP now can't push forward. Now they have to avoid the engages from happening because UPD are still able to easily get onto them. They still have to respect the fact that UPD can easily engage onto their carries.
Yeah, and TUP, they still have the lead after all of the massive team fighting that UPD has been doing. TUP, they still have the lead in towers, they still have the lead in gold, and they still have more control over the map than UPD has. UPD is still confined to their side of the map.
Yeah, and alam mo, Jiten, maganda to nakikita natin sa UPD talaga. It's very interesting that we've praised TUP for their performance, especially earlier against FIT, and we didn't peg UPD as one of those teams that could really stand up to TUP, but so far they are holding their own against TUP.
Man, speak for yourself. I have full faith in UPD.
I don't. Honestly.
You might not. But, you know, it's
from a very objective point of view. Okay, we're back on cam.
Yeah.
I wonder what that is. Hopefully we'll get some news on why the game has been delayed. But yeah, so far the game has been back and forth. Earlier it was TUP picking up... Okay, we're back. But yeah, earlier it was TUP picking up a lot of kills in the earlier skirmishes.
Yeah.
But UPD were able to find picks, claw their way back into the game. They now have the kill lead. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are ahead in the game because TUP is still controlling majority of the map since they've been able to push majority of the lanes.
Yes, and all of the lanes of TUP are still winning in CS. They still have more gold, more items than their counterparts in UPD. But CCG trying to go for the binding here, will get it.
No.
And Desin, it has been ulted. The Black Shield's gonna go, tries to ult to dissuade Naga, but there's also the Vice coming in here. Ooh, is he actually out of there? Naga trying to find him, will get the slow, has a flash, and gets a never move, taking him down. Naga 1v1, that wasn't a 1v1, but he does get one kill. However, wow, Nona is just going to get ripped to shreds there. Device, CCG will take down Miko, but Device failing the let's bounce. And that is a 2-for-1 so far for the side of UPD.
Yeah, both teams trade top laners across the map, but Miko did go down. I think that will force TUP to back off and stop the siege from happening.
Yeah.
So UPD getting more of these picks. TUP not respecting the fact that UPD could instantly engage on their team. But man, look at the damage that went down onto Nona. They just absolutely destroyed the Cho'Gath.
Yes, and that is a very tanky Cho'Gath. He does have his Righteous Glory, his Banner of Command. He's a pretty tanky boy, and he just got shredded almost instantly.
Yeah, I think that was part because of the Subjugate coming from the Trundle, really helping shred Nona's tank stats. I mean, he's only sitting on Banner of Command and Righteous Glory. He isn't necessarily that big of a tank yet. I think it's more of the fact that he has a huge amount of HP because of the Cho'Gath ultimate. Now the next Mountain Drake has spawned. TUP will want to get this so that their Baron speed is a bit faster. I don't think UPD are in a position to contest.
Yes, UPD is still funneled into their base. They can't really come out. They don't have they don't have enough vision to try to contest that dragon, and it's just going to be free for TUP.
Yeah, Baron now is alive. Both teams definitely looking at this objective. UPD are gonna try and lay down vision in their jungle.
They're trying to, clear the vision. Miko gets the hook, but the Black Shield will save Device from getting CC'd. Baron is up. TUP wants it. UPD has to try to contest this, or at least get a pick so that they can safely do the Baron.
Yeah, I think both teams don't want to start this when everyone is still alive and kicking on the map. They'd want to get a pick first, try to make it a numbers advantage, and then go on to that Baron. Now, the key to generating those picks from happening is mid-priority. Both teams are going to be fighting just to shove this mid lane so that they can move towards the Baron after they shove it, lay down the vision, try to look for a pick.
Yeah, and we're nearing that point in the game where your lead doesn't matter. We're not there yet because TUP still has item leads, but we are rapidly approaching that point, and that's where UPD wants to be. They want to be able to use their full builds and take advantage of their comp to actually get the picks on TUP, but so far TUP still has the advantage, and they have the area control of Baron.
Yeah, let's see though, G10. Can TUP properly do the setup here for Baron?
They are going for the in. Oh, the hook will land onto CCG, but the flourish won't. Device is canceling that elastic slingshot.
They call it off after the Dark Binding missed. I don't think they were confident enough to instantly land all of the follow-up into that.
Yeah, neither was TUP because this is a very scary position because Zed is now caught out. He is going to be focused down here, but the Lantern will just take down. Kim is now in the hot seat. He will be focused down. It's very, very low, but Naga will get the kill onto Zed, and there's another kill onto the Kim. Miko is on the top side. He will be going down. Oh, not going down yet to Naga, but Navi being chased down here, and bam, not able to get in that fight. Curtain call. 1 miss, 2 hit, 3, and the last one will just chunk Device out a little bit.
Yeah, I think TUP were very lucky that Bam was able to shred through that Cho'Gath, because if Nona survived, UPD could have reset the rest of the fight and then moved on to the Baron, which would have been massive. Which would have been a massive win for their team, but they trade kills, and in the end, it's just a bunch of kills. No big objective taken off of the map just yet. Both teams still definitely eyeing that Baron.
Yeah, and if you saw there, this one was actually left out to dry. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there because Zed actually took the Lantern. They could have just reset from that, but Desim decided to go in.
Yeah, he wanted to try and get the assassination on Yochan, but the Feather Storm from Isaiah bought so much time for him to actually kite around. But look at the damage. Look at Bomb's already completed a Rabadon's Death Cap.
And he's going to hurt. Yeah, he has been hurting. He's been shredding apart Nona. Zet once again trying to get control in the jungle here. Syzygy though, Naga and the Vice are all putting onto him. The Lantern is there, but will he be able to take it? Zet will be saved once again by Miko.
Oh, Miko with these Lantern saves, constantly getting his jungler out of these sticky situations. Oh, that must be frustrating for UPD.
Man, that Dark Passage is really letting TUP just get these aggressive vision advantages, while Zet he won't die.
You have to think though, G10, at some point, the Lantern won't save him.
At some point,
At
Chiso.
some point, something's gonna happen where the Lantern won't actually pull him back if UPD finds that pick. Oh no, Miko!
Miko has been dark bound. There is Device on him also, and Syzygy will actually once again take that kill. Man, once again, Miko, the trend of him dying in weird places.
Well, I did say at some point the Lantern can't save you, and you can't Lantern yourself on Thresh, so there's no saving himself from that pick from happening. With no support on the map, now TUP has to back off. It buys UPD so much more time to stall the game.
Yes, and UPD's entire objective here is to stall, to get to that item threshold where they can fight TUP really fast. But TUP...
This is very bold by TUP.
Risky move.
Jhin is not the fastest AD carry to take Baron down with. I don't think TUP are actually in an area... I don't think UP are in an area to respond it.
UP has no idea this is happening actually. Now they know, but Zet, it's too late. He does get the Baron. That was so risky, but it paid off so well for TUP.
How did that work out?
UP had no vision. They had no vision.
That should never happen.
That's entirely it. They had no vision. Vision wins games.
Oh man, that's very tough for UPD because they were setting around it so well. They got the pick onto Miko. They were buying themselves time to set up around this, but they were hesitant to face check there because they were respecting the fact that one of them might go down. But man, that's a tough loss for UPD.
Yeah, and now the ball is solidly in TUP's court. It's their turn now to decide these next fights, because if they do win a fight, they can just go towards UP with the Baron buff and just take everything.
Yeah, I wonder though, TUP have a perfect 1-3-1 setup here. They can put Camille and Ryze in a side lane with double teleport, pressure the sides here, and force UPD's players to separate from each other.
Elder is up and Zed is on it. This Trundle has just had the best objective control in this game. And
UPD has to do something. They need to act now.
Yeah, they have to go on it. Device has to get the steal, but Syzygy is going to use his Zonias. He is very, very low, but that is their teleports are coming in. Shut down onto Yochan. Shut down onto Syzygy also. UPD is not looking good. Let's bounce from Zac. Oh, Nona is caught out here by the Camille. There is a shutdown on to Naga and Nona. Device, the last two members of UPD. Decim gets the kill.
Yeah, and after that Baron take, everything began falling apart for Ablation Esports. I think TUP can end the game here. All they need to do is push down, pick what lane they want to end this from. The death timers still 20 seconds. Elder Drake on their side. A Jhin that absolutely destroys towers. I think this is TUP picking up the win.
That was a crucial fight for UPD to win, and they lost it. It does look like the inhibitors are going to be falling. We're going to be looking to the Nexus towers now. I think TUP does want everything here. They get all three inhibitors. Syzygy has spawned, Yochan has spawned, but is it enough? It's a 3v5. Device, the last hurrah, tried to go in, but will be denied. And it's just going to be Syzygy going down to the Jhin very, very soon. Yochan trying to do his best to do damage, but that is going to be the game for TUP. Man, that was...
Yeah, it was quite messy from both sides really, but the result will be TUP picking up a win over UPD Ablation Esports.
Man,
it wasn't the smoothest ride there. There were some back and forth moments, but in the end, TUP, they pulled it together. The moment they got the Baron, they did not look back, and I think at that point, everything just fell apart for UPD.
Yeah, UPD there had a couple of moments where they could have taken the lead from TUP, but TUP just showed better objective and vision control. That Baron sneak, I think, was absolutely essential to TUP's win.
Yeah, I think that was a very bold call from TUP's side, because generally you'd think Jin isn't the fastest AD carry to take Baron down with, but they were confident enough that UPD wouldn't check that and they were able to rush it down.
Yeah.
And I think that really put the game in the bag for TUP.
Yeah, Navi, although he's not the fastest auto attacker on the Rift, he does do a lot of damage, especially at that point when he had I think 4 items already, and Zed was just tanky enough to just tank the Baron while UPD was trying to clear waves in the mid and top lane. They had absolutely no clue.
Yeah, that was a great play by TUP, but yes, good for TUP. They are going to end today on a 2-0 note, I believe. So definitely ending today on a high note, showing that they are still one of the top teams here in the LVL.
Yeah, but don't look away from your screens because the next game will also be featuring UP Diliman, but this time they're going to go against Bulacan State University. That's right.
Yeah, and I think that wraps up this game. Look forward to that next match. Like G10 mentioned, it is UPD versus Bulacan State University. Of course, we have been your shoutcasters. My name is Chisto, and with me is G10.
See you later. Syzygy is going to use his Zonias. He is very, very low, but that is their teleports are coming in. Shut down onto Yochan. Shut down onto Syzygy. Also, UPD is not looking good. Let's bounce from Zach. Oh, Nona is caught out here by the Camille. There is a shutdown on to Naga and Nona. Device, the last 2 members of UPD. Decim. That's the kill. There is the flash from Zed. He is still taking a lot of damage. Swain is going to pop the ult, but the rest of the team of TUP is here. Device playing very low, has the flash out. There's Camille, will get the root off, and there is the ultimate from Camille. The Zac has been popped. Yochan gonna go down. There is, oh my god, Naga should be next. There it is, 3 kills for TUP so far. And Navi to combat Syzygy. The bite. Will he go down? Syzygy will go down. Navi will live. There is a teleport now. Nona is here. Miko has been slain. Another teleport coming in from TUP. Naga and Device just trying to run away from Zed. And Confirm, they're terrified of this TUP combo.
Wait up.
Oh, here we go. Naga is going to be taken down there by Bam. Device trying to stay under the tower here, but he will actually get away for a bit, but Navi coming in for the last hit. The 4-shot crit. Oh, Decim though, going deep onto the Talia Yochan, but he will get Naga is there too. Decim will go down to Yochan, and this is a fight that UP actually wants. Miko is going to be next here, and Naga's chasing down Zed. It looks like UP wants the Baron here.
Yeah, this should be Baron over the side.
This is a very scary position because Zed is now caught out. He is going to be focused down here, but the Lantern will just take him down. Kim is now in the hot seat. He will be focused down. And it's very, very low, but Naga will get the kill onto Zed. And there's another kill onto the Kim. Miko is on the top side. He will be going down. Oh, not going down yet to Naga. But Navi being chased down here. Bam. Not able to get in that fight. Curtain call. 1 miss. 2 hit. 3 he'll get. He is going to use his Zonias. He is very, very low, but Bam is there. Teleports are coming in. Shut down onto Yochan. Shut down onto Syzygy. Also, UPD is not looking good. Let's bounce from Zach. Oh, Nona is caught out here by the Camille. There is a shutdown on to Naga and Nona. Device, the last 2 members of UPD. Decim. And Yochan has spawned, but is it enough? It's a 3v5. Device, the last hurrah, tried to go in but will be denied. And it's just going to be Syzygy going down to the gym very, very soon. Yochan trying to do his best to do damage, but that is going to be the game for TUP. Man, that was...
Yeah, it was quite messy